What's up, guys? There are a few things more embarrassing for a sports team than when they go from championship hopeful to the ultimate disaster. But hey, that's why they play the game. Championships aren't won during the offseason or preseason. That's why we have the regular season and the playoffs. These 10 teams will be happy to explain all of this to you. Instead of winning a championship like many expected, they fell apart entirely and became a massive laughingstock, a disappointment, a failure, a circus. You get the point. I'm Jason Biondo, and today we present 10 teams that were supposed to win a championship but had a disastrous season instead. Don't forget to subscribe to TPS and make sure you put on your notifications because we post videos, that's right, every single day. Every day is a new video, so you have to subscribe. Make sure to click that button below. It's red, it's right there, it's beautiful. Click it. And a big shout out to Warren Collins for suggesting this video. Thank you, Warren. You're a great person. We love you. Keep watching. Number 10, 2014 New York Yankees. The Pinstripes had too many injuries to deal with in 2013, and it led to them missing the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. Unhappy about their shortcomings, the Steinbrenners went to work in rebuilding the Yankees into a playoff contender. And so the following happened. Outfielder Jacoby Ellsbury signs a 7-year deal worth $153 million. Veteran All-Star Carlos Beltran signs a 3-year, $45 million contract. Japanese ace pitcher Mashiro Tanaka signs a 7-year deal worth $155 million. Catcher Brian McCann signs a 5-year deal worth $85 million. That's a lot of money. Perfect. 4 stars to join a core led by Derek Jeter and Mark Teixeira. What could go wrong? Well, none of the Yankees' marquee offseason additions really paid off, except for Tanaka. This was really just a core led by expensive past their prime veterans. The Yankees only scored 633 runs in 2014, 17 less than the season before. They finished with a minus 31 run differential. The Yankees finished a mere 84-78, nowhere close to reaching the postseason, let alone championship contention. It was one of the most disappointing years in the history of the Yankees franchise. Number 9, 2008 Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys won 13 games in 2007 and finished as the top team in the NFC, only to fall to the New York Giants in the divisional round. That's okay, the Cowboys had all the making to be a Super Bowl champion entering the 2008 season. Dallas lived up to the hype early, starting out 3-0 and looking like the team to beat in the NFC. They also traded for Detroit Lions star wide receiver Roy Williams in the midst of the season, looking to boost a stacked offense that already featured Terrell Owens and Jason Witten. Tony Romo suffered a broken pinky in Week 6 and missed 3 starts. The Cowboys won just 1 of 3 games without Romo, but when he returned, Dallas reeled in 3 straight victories and stood pretty at 8-4. However, Dallas would lose 2 of their next 3 games, and they met the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 17. The winner would nab a wild card spot, while the loser would go home. Well, Romo was absolutely dreadful in the finale, and the Cowboys were blown out 44-6. They finished the season 9-7, but given their status as an early favorite to win the Super Bowl, the lack of playoff berth was deemed a disaster. Number 8, 2008-2009 Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns were a Western Conference powerhouse under Steve Nash. He had guided them to 4 straight 50-win seasons, plus trips to the conference finals in 2005 and 2006. Entering the 08-09 season, the Suns were expected to compete with the LA Lakers and San Antonio Spurs for Western Conference supremacy. Led by Nash, future Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal, Amari Stoudemire, and Jason Richardson, the Suns had one stacked roster. They had the league's best offense, averaging 109.4 points per game. That only amounted to 46 wins, however, which simply wasn't good for a team with so much star power. The Suns missed out on the final playoff spot by 2 games. Yes, 46 wins gets you in the playoffs most years, but the Suns were winning 50 to 60 something games in previous seasons with Nash. Anything less than 50 wins wasn't acceptable, and missing the playoffs was unimaginable. So of course the Suns turned it around and reached the conference finals in 2010, losing to the Lakers. I mean, like, at least the disaster only lasted like 1 year, even though the Suns are still kind of awful, but just saying. Number 7, 2010-2011 New Jersey Devils. The New Jersey Devils have made the playoffs every year from 1997 to 2010. They were a perennial powerhouse in the Eastern Conference, having won 3 Stanley Cup championships between 1995 and 2000. The Devils finished as the number 2 seed in the East during the 2009-10 season. After a first-round elimination at the hands of the Philadelphia Flyers, the Devils went all in for another run at the Cup. They re-signed Russian sniper and annual 30-goal man Ilya Kovalchuk to a 15-year contract worth $100 million. Shot blocking and defensive specialist Anton Volchenkov received a 6-year contract worth $25.5 million. And no, fellow blue liner Henrik Talander got a 4-year contract worth $13.5 million. Okay, so 1 superstar scorer and 2 stud defensemen to join the stacked team. How did that play out? Not good at all. The Devils finished the season at 38-39-5 as the bulk of their core players began to show their age and slowed down in production. destruction. They finished 11th in the Eastern Conference, missing the playoffs by 12 points. Now, Jersey did make the Stanley Cup final the following year, so we suppose that's a good redemption story. Number 6, 2015 Washington Nationals. The Nats won the NL East Division in 2014 after finishing with a 96-66 record. However, they were eliminated in the NLDS by the San Francisco Giants, and the promising season ended abruptly. The Nats grew impatient and went all in during the 2015 offseason, inking Cy Young winner Max Scherzer to a 7-year deal worth a whopping $210 million. National star Bryce Harper infamously asked, "Where's my ring?" in response to the team's high expectations. The answer? Nowhere, Bryce. That's why you're going to a different team now. The Nationals finished with a mere 83-79 record as manager Matt Williams failed to keep a toxic clubhouse together. The season was best highlighted by a dugout fight between Harper and Jonathan Papelbon, who put his hands around the throat of Harper. Williams was fired after the season, as the Nationals missed the postseason. As for Harper's ring that he asked for, never showed up. Still hasn't. Number 5, 2017-18 Edmonton Oilers. Led by scoring champion and Art Ross Trophy winner Connor McDavid, the Edmonton Oilers had a 103-point season in 2016 and 17. They fell just one game shy of reaching the Western Conference Finals in the playoffs, but this was a young, star-studded team that was ready to take it to another level in 2018. The Oilers entered 2017-18 as a favorite to win the Stanley Cup, but everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Goalie Cam Talbot faltered after a career season, the secondary scoring vanished, the top blue liners were hit by injuries. To be perfectly blunt, it was arguably the most disappointing season in franchise history. Edmonton finished with a 30-40-6 record, which was only good for 78 points. Head coach Todd McClellan was fired in the early stages of the following season, even though it probably should have been done in the midst of the pathetic 2017-18 campaign. Number 4, 2013 Toronto Blue Jays. Looking to end a 20-year playoff drought, the Toronto Blue Jays look to build around a core led by Jose Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion. They signed stud outfielder Melky Cabrera to a 2-year contract. They traded for reigning NL Cy Young pitcher and knuckleballer R.A. Dickey in a blockbuster deal with the New York Mets. The Jays' biggest move, however, was a trade with the Miami Marlins. They acquired all-star shortstop Jose Reyes, stud pitchers John Johnson and Mark Burley, and speedster Emilio Bonifacio. The revitalized Blue Jays were not only the favorite to win the AL East in 2013, but they were a top pick to win the World Series as well. And how did that go? Terribly. The Jays went a putrid 74-88, finishing dead last in the AL East division. They were the laughingstock of Major League Baseball in 2013. Poor guys. Number 3, 2010 San Diego Chargers. The Chargers won 13 games in 2009 and were favored to win the Super Bowl that year, but they fell to Mark Sanchez and the New York Jets in the divisional round. Still, many thought 2010 was the year of the Chargers, and in some ways, they lived up to that hype. Phillip Rivers had another incredible season. The Chargers actually finished with the NFL's best offense and best defense. Those stats alone should spell at least 12 wins and a playoff berth, right? Actually, no. The Chargers did their typical Chargers nonsense. They committed all these late-game gaffes and dug themselves into an ugly 2-5 hole. Essentially, all hope was already lost. The Chargers got hot in the second half and finished 9-7, but it wasn't enough to make the playoffs. The Kansas City Chiefs won the AFC West crown instead with a 10-6 record. The Chargers' special teams unit was a disaster. They surrendered 4 blocked punts and a trio of kick return touchdowns. That was enough for this super team to miss the playoffs and once again fall short of its Super Bowl appearance. Chargers gonna Chargers, man. Number 2, 2012-2013 Los Angeles Lakers. Well, Kobe Bryant and the LA Lakers finished 3rd in the Western Conference in the 2011-2012 season. So when they traded for All-Star center Dwight Howard and 2-time MVP point guard Steve Nash in the 2012 season, the question was simply this: will it be the Lakers or the Miami Heat to win the 2013 NBA championship? Kobe had 2 big-time playmakers to complement his skills. Most pundits picked the Lakers to win the Western Conference, and many thought they would dethrone LeBron James' Heat in the NBA Finals. But it was a disaster from the get-go. Head coach Mike Brown was fired 5 games in. Howard couldn't fit in the Lakers' complicated offense and had his worst season in 6 years. As for Nash, he was a shell of his former self and couldn't get on the same page with the Black Mamba and D12. The final dagger of this disaster season came when Bryant tore his Achilles in their 3rd-to-last game. The Lakers finished a mere 45-37 to qualify for the postseason, while the San Antonio Spurs embarrassed them in the first round with a 4-game sweep. Sure, 45 wins isn't a disaster to the average team, but the Lakers were always a 50-win team with Kobe. Add 2 more superstars and all they can muster was 45 wins and 0 playoff victories? It was a disaster in Lakerland. I'm not even sugarcoating it. Number 1, 2011 Philadelphia Eagles. After Michael Vick led the Eagles to an NFC East Division crown in 2010, the front office decided to take it a step further. They signed backup quarterback Vince Young, giving Young some much-needed insurance. Young himself proclaimed the Eagles as the dream team. The Eagles also signed Pro Bowl defensive end Jason Babin and star defensive tackle Cullen Jenkins. But their top free agent prize was Pro Bowl cornerback Nnamdi Asomugha, who signed a 5-year deal worth $60 million. So you're telling me a playoff team from 2010 added 3 superstars to their defense? Of course they were going to win the Super Bowl, right? Nah, the Eagles weren't able to live up to all the pressure. They lost 4 of their first 5 games and were all but done after falling to 4-8. Philadelphia managed to win its final 4 games to finish at 8-8, but it was still a disaster season. From proclaiming themselves as a dream team and being named Super Bowl favorites to being out of it after just a quarter of the season? Wow, that's bad. At least they won the Super Bowl 6 years later. That's good. Congrats. Which other teams were supposed to win a championship but had a disastrous season instead? Join us in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and Total Pro Sports on social media. We post great content all the time. All the time. Great content. So you should definitely go subscribe. Why would you not? It's a really good idea. Go do it. At least go check out our profile. Just go give it a look. Just look at our Instagram and be like, oh, that's cool. I like those tweets. And then maybe throw us a like. Throw us a follow. We appreciate it. If you like this video, make sure to like it. It takes 1 click. Why would you not click it? One time? 1 click? Right there. Boom. Done. If this is your first time around TPS, make sure to subscribe because we post videos every single day. Every day is a new video. So you have to subscribe. Why would you not? Do it. It's the red button down below. I know you want to. Just click it. It's a red button. It's really fun. It's so much fun clicking that button. You feel so good afterwards. You're like, all right, something new is a part of my life and it's sports related. I love it. Of course, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm Jason Biondo and I'll see you next time.
My knee.